So I'm coming home from work, just, minding my own business, just come in from a hard day's work and check the mailbox, and I see that there's a letter for me. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at it, it wasn't actually a letter, it was a note. Tab saying, come to the post office, you have a special delivery, and I'm like, what is this, special request. So I go to the post office and, I fill out the paper, turn in the slip, and they give me a letter. And I'm thinking, am I being sued? Because it looked like a summons, like, I'm being brought into court. So I'm like, oh man. I'm thinking, okay, well maybe one of my baby mamas is trying to sue me or something. But then I remember, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't got no kids, man, what is this? So I open up the letter and it's a summons for jury duty. And I'm like, jury duty. But I'm like, okay, all right, okay, certainly, sure. I'll go in and see what's going on. I've been summoned, so I gotta go. I signed for it and everything. So, it says, next month on this day, such and such, okay. So I go to jury duty, turn in my letter, get searched and frisked and all that. Put me in, I go to this room, it's like easily over 800 people. I mean, just almost like wall to wall. There's plenty of seats, but yet it's still people standing up because it's just so many, it's easily like 800 people, maybe more. And they're gonna narrow it down to like 20 people or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, what are the chances? Out of all these people, they're not gonna pick me. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just pretty much here to wait on them to, bring me my check for showing up for today, and then I'll be dismissed because, it's more than enough people. So, we waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then of course this happy-go-lucky guy, he got this real hyper attitude, like he been doing too much drugs. So, hi everybody! Oh, welcome to jury duty. You're doing a great service for your country. Okay. Can't wait till this is over with. And so, after listening to him for maybe 45 minutes, it's nice to see everyone here, like some kind of talk show host, come on down. And so, they call people, row by row, like 10 people at a time, man, coming in, and they're interviewing everyone individually, And I'm like, okay, well, as soon as my turn comes, I'll go up and, and I'll get the interview. I'm just going to answer a couple of questions. Yeah, I got a job, and yeah, this and that, And then I'll be dismissed. I go back to the room, I sit down, and that'll be it. Okay, so I'm pretty much waiting for my paycheck to come in so I can take it and go and never be called to this place ever again. And so after they did interview for everybody, which took maybe 4 hours of trying to interview every single person, they narrow it down to regular 20 some people, just a few, the regulars and the alternatives. So they call out the regular names, regular people that's going to be doing it for the entire month or so. And so I'm hearing the names, Jesse this, Brian that. And then the very last name is Carl Johnson. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Carl. I'm Carl Johnson. I'm Carl Johnson. I know he didn't just call me. It's like 800 some people out here. How in the world did they call me? And then I'm not even the alternative. I'm one of the regulars, which means I gotta come up in here every day. So they give the other people their paychecks. Oh, well, thank you for coming by. Enjoy the rest of your day. Here's your paychecks. Okay, now all of you and you too, Carl Johnson, you guys come with me. We're going upstairs to this special room. Oh man. I'm like, I don't got time for this. I have a life, or something that seems to be a life. I can't do this. You know, what about my wife and kids? If I had wife and kids, which I don't, but I could, but I don't. So they take us to a room, and you know, and we sit down, and you know, okay, this ain't so bad. We take our cell phones, and then all of a sudden, security, she comes in like, no newspapers, no cell phones. Like, what? What we supposed to do? We're supposed to sit in the room and talk about how we're not supposed to talk about the case. That's what we do. So she gets a brown paper bag, and we put all of our cell phones in, and then we just sit there and we look at each other. And you know, we like, you know, people from all walks of life, you know, and then somebody got to break the ice, so I just say, well, you know, hey, it's like we're in one of them anonymous meetings, you know, I'm Carl Johnson, and everybody said, hi, Carl, you know. And then somebody said, well, I wish I could call somebody, and then I'm like, oh, well, no problem, I can just get myself, and then I realized something. My cell phone. I turned it in. We all turned our cell phones in. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What's going on Facebook? Somebody's posting stuff on Instagram. I'm not seeing it. What's going on Twitter? Where am I? And then that's when I realized I'm in the Twilight Zone. Like, oh man, I'm dying. I'm dying of thirst. Must look at Facebook. Where am I? And then all of a sudden, security come in. She's like, your paychecks are here. I'm like, oh, well that's different. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. And then the guy, the cook, he comes in with the food and like, it is what it is. And we pass out the food. So we open up the box and, you know, and we looking at it. It's like a round piece of thingy with some vegetables and rice. And we're like, hey, Chief, what kind of meat is this? And the only thing he says is, it is what it is. That's it. That's all we did. We asked him a question. He says, it is what it is. Okay, what time do we normally get lunch? It is what it is. So we sitting there, we get our first taste of mystery meat. Now, let me remind you, today it tastes like chicken, but this meat intends to like transform as the weeks go by. So today it tastes like chicken. And then here's the funny thing about it. They don't ever, you know, do something new or different. They just take this meat, they wrap up what we didn't eat, put it in the freezer, and then bring it back the next day. And we're like, wait a minute, this is what we had yesterday. And the guy just says, it is what it is. It's like, well, look, man, you could at least let this meat thaw out before you serve it to us. I mean, come on now. And then there was the one day whereas we didn't have any plastic forks. It was like, it's already tough enough trying to cut this meat open as it is, and then we ain't got no knife. What we supposed to do? Well, we got spoons and forks. Spoons and forks. So we sitting there trying to use spoons and forks to cut the meat. Oh wow. I wonder what we having today. Yummy. Leftover mystery meat. My absolute favorite. Yeah. Does it taste like chicken? No. It tastes like pork. Matter of fact, that actually came up during one of the days, whereas we sat there and we actually debated what kind of meat we was eating. We couldn't tell whether it was chicken or pork. You know, it got to the point that if one of us had to pull out a coin and flip it. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's pork then. And we were like, no, we can't do this anymore. At least I can't. This mystery meat. I don't know. So when the chef came back in and he's like, you know, it is what it is. And we're like, dude, okay, what kind of meat is this? It is what it is. That's all he says. It is what it is. Now, during the few times, most of the time, we spend time in the room, but then when we actually go out into the courtroom, just your average courtroom, we sit there on one side, defendant on the other, plaintiffs in the center, judge, and all that. And so, you know, we hitting the case, and, you know, it's like, oh my goodness. Now, what do I remember the case? I remember it being brutal, but I do remember this one part. It was this witness, right? She came up, I'm like, she looked like, what's her name? Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. I mean, like, just beautiful woman just coming up. Like, I'm looking, I'm like, you know, in court they tell you, you know, not to make any facial expressions, but I know my poker face is just not up to par. So I'm like, you know, and they asking her questions, address, you know, and where she lived, you know, what she was doing on the night of this and that. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, come on, ask her the one question that I really want to know, and what's your telephone number? You know, so I can write it down in my notes. Okay, telephone number 5. Okay, all right, you are dismissed. Very good. Unfortunately, he asked her all the questions except the one that I really wanted to know. And as a jury, I can't just be like, hey, what's your telephone number? You know, that'll just be so rude. So no, I didn't do all of that. But I'm like, damn, man, I wish I could, you know. But, you know, she's part of the investigation, so, you know, she witnessed and stuff, so, you know, like, so we go back to that Twilight Zone we call a room, and we sit there and pretty much stare at each other. You know, now on the first 2 weeks, you know, we come in, we're like, hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Then after that, it's like, you know, whatever. We're here, you know, deal with it. And then, of course, on the last week, we like, I can't stand it. I hate this. I hate this room. I don't like you people. I'm tired of this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready. And finally, we get to the very last day where we have to finally make a decision on what's going to be the destiny of this guy. We looking at all the evidence, you know, and the women, they're like, he does look kind of cute. Like, who are you talking about? The police officer? Like, no, the defendant. The defendant. He looks cute. 3 people are dead. But, oh, well, he's cute. Well, then he's not guilty then, okay? Like, no, according to the evidence and the witnesses, this man is as guilty as the devil himself. So let's just simply go by the evidence. What does the evidence say? Yeah, that's what I thought. So after who knows how long we sat in that room, you know, just debating, going back and forth, which was totally unnecessary. Everybody in the courtroom sitting there waiting for the jury to come back with their plea and stuff, and we in there lollygagging. And I was like, hey, you know what? Let's just do something, because I don't want to spend another minute in this place, and I definitely don't feel like eating any more of that leftover mystery meat. So let's look at the evidence. Okay, according to this man, he got his hand on everything. Okay, so we all agree. Okay, let's go back out there and let's tell the people what's the plea. Okay, so yeah, this guy is guilty. According to the evidence, this guy is guilty. You know, and the crowd's just like, you know, a mixture of cheers and boo. Yeah, yeah. And you know, we get up and we leave, go back to the room, get our coats, we talk to the lawyers, and then we realize something. We like, wait a minute. We have to leave this building. We have to go home. So what do we do? You know, and people, we just so scared. We asked security, okay, you know, because at this time it's nighttime. You know, it's night, it's dark outside. We asked security to go out there to the parking lot, check around the cars and stuff, because we don't know who might be out there. Now, here's the funny thing about it. Everybody got cars except me. I'm the only idiot, you know, catching the bus. So then, you know, a few of them, you know, they come to me like, hey, Carl, you know, will you be okay? I can take you where you want to go. And I look at her and I said, look here, Toots. I'm Carl Johnson. I was born and raised in Chicago. This is my turf. This is my city. I run things around here. I'm the man. I'm not scared of nothing. So, you save your ride for somebody who needs it. Me, I got this. I'll be cool. And so she's like, oh, okay. So, you know, security go out to the parking lot and the coast is clear, and, you know, all of them start running, scattering, you know, like roaches when you turn the lights on and all that. Me, here I am walking to the bus stop. So I'm walking to the bus stop, right? And I hear these noises, you know, all right, whoever out there, come on out before I bust you up. Come on. That's what I thought. So then the bus finally comes, and I jump on. I give the bus driver, I just pull out some money. I put in there a $5 bill. Bus driver like, hey, ho, chief, that's too much money. I'm like, I don't care. Just get me out of here. Bus driver cussing me, man, calm your ass down. I'm